Is that better? Of course, that's better. I've turned off the mute button. You can tell it's one of those weeks. As I've said on my supporter special on Saturday, it's always one of those weeks. Anyway, I was just saying a special shout out to my mate Mike Redwood there, who popped up in the channel. We were chatting just before I came online because he lives near Peterborough and there's a Peterborough show on the 3rd of March, and I was just checking out if he was there so I could pop up and see him. We go way back. We were at school together. He's a properly good mate of mine, absolute top bloke. He's doing so many things. The man is like a Superman. Hang on, I've got a call from him. I can't take Michael. I can't take your call. I'm on my live stream, mate. Anyway, he's a top bloke, and hopefully I'll see him and do the Peterborough show as well. Job done. What do you think? Great, isn't it? Great when that happens. Okay. 100% better. It's a lot better when you can't hear me, Chris. I promise you. So, the reason why that happened was I have to hang on. But please, 1 second. Mike. I know I've just sorted out the mute on the sound, mate.
Okay, fine.
Brilliant. Thanks for that. Cheers, fella. He was phoning me up to say there's no sound. I mean, if I ever learnt to do this like a professional, I promise you, I'd be absolutely rocking it in. So, sound. Yes, it is sound. Yes. So, Panavia Tornado in 144th I have here. I thought I would keep the egg kit, the HMS Hood that I'm building at the moment. The Meng HMS Hood. I'll keep that for the first Thursday shows, and then on the third Tuesday shows I'll do something like this, something else. Okay, that's the idea. So yes, they are only £4 at Hobbycraft. They do a whole range of different things on it. They do some lovely, wonderful things like Jaguar. They do a Jaguar in this scale. Very nice. So another thing, please forgive me if I cough a lot tonight. Picked up somewhere along the line, came back from holiday with a cold. And, you know, colds these days, you get away and you come back and colds and you get rid of it, but then you still get that cough that hangs around for ages. But yeah, you know. Simon, I need a preparation prompt list sheet to refer to before you do. Yes, I do, mate. There's a lot of things I need sheets for. Things like remembering whenever I do a YouTube thumbnail for a build video or a box opening video to do a square one to put up on X or Twitter or whatever it is, and Instagram, to try and build up that sort of thing as well. But there we go. And I will claim, and it is a fact, I was very distracted by my conversation with my mate there, Mike, Dr. Mike, about going to see him. So that'd be brilliant. His brother, his youngest brother, is a really big, really strong in IPMS. I think he's a member of the Harrier SIG at IPMS. He loves modelling as well. I met him, bumped into him at Telford. But yeah, top guys. How are you all doing? Pre-flight check. Yes, I know, pre-flight checklist. G'day, Duke of Wellington. 7 o'clock in the morning. Wow. Oh dear, that's so good of you to turn up. Thank you so much. Yes, a prompt sheet, one of your Maxbox challenge boxes. Lol. Yes, very funny, Simon. By the way, Simon, hope you've got that bell. Subscribe with the bell. Something's coming up very soon with Matchboxes. So Currently, an A380 in BA livery sprues and glues. Whoa, that's a big old thing, the 380, even in small scales. That's still a big thing. Funnily enough, I've got 3 tornadoes now. I've got this one. I've got a 1/72nd scale. It's up there somewhere. 1/72nd scale Edward, the special edition of the Desert Babes one that was sent to me by Dane Stewart, which is very nice. And the other day, when I went to my local club, Harrow, IPMS Club, Harrow Modelling Society, if I can find it, where have I put it? I don't know where I've put it. It's not like it's easy to hide, but around somewhere. Anyway, around somewhere is a Revell 1/32nd scale tornado GR1. Now the guy who gave me it said, "Oh, hang about. What's all this?" Simon Burbage has just gifted 5 memberships. Simon, thank you so much, mate. That's really, really nice of you. Really generous of you. Thank you so much. Yeah, so he gave me a 1/32nd scale Revell tornado, but he said the only thing is the canopy's missing. There's no canopy, but I'm sure you can find one somewhere. So I went to Revell, sent them a message, and said, "Dear Revell, spares department, I have this tornado. This is the reference number. Da, 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 da. Have you got a canopy for it?" And it says on there, you know, we make a small charge for da, 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 and that's grand. And they said, actually, no, we don't, because it was a 1985 kit, and we don't have these anymore. Blah 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 blah. So then someone said to me, "Well, why don't you ask them about the later GR1 releases? Maybe it will fit." And I had a look on Scale Mates. It looks pretty much the same. And if there's any difference, I can probably make it up. And got in touch with them and said, "Have you got one for this instead? Part number 130 or whatever." They came back and said, "Yes, well, I think we do." Excuse me. It's a current thing, so the team should have one around. And then a little bit later, actually, I found one downstairs. It's a display sample. I've pinched it out of that. I'll pop it in the post to you tonight, free of charge. I mean, well done, Revell, for that. It's Revell UK, the Revell UK office. Tracy at the Revell UK office. Absolutely brilliant service. So thank you for that. So I've got 3 tornadoes I can make, which is very exciting. The one thing about this one is on the box it's the nice, actually it's the tripartite evaluation squadron weirdo roundel. Very odd. That's not very well drawn at all. And this is like an Escher drawing. I'm not sure which way round it's supposed to be. Anyway. Oh, dude, please excuse me. It says on the box, the look of the actual product may vary slightly from the pictures shown on this box. It varies because it's a desert scheme one with one roundel and a few little things and some shark's mouths and mig eater on the side. So it's designed to be desert pink. I don't have desert pink, so I'm going to paint it like that anyway when I get to finish it. So that's where we are with that. Yeah, just the one baggie of bits. It looks very simple, very straightforward. He said with confidence. Let's have a look inside. So, have I got a magic cutter somewhere? No, we'll just tear it then. So how are things doing? How is everybody? You guys okay? You doing well? What are you up to? What are you building? Oh, hobby time, all tornadoes have the same canopy. Okay, that's cool. I did wonder whether the the fighters may have had a different one. I know it's mainly a nose and it's a bit extended fuselage, a bit more fuel and stuff like that. Anyway, there we go. Do you know what? It looks quite nice. It looks actually what I do like a lot is when you see things like this. You see that like these panel details here. I don't know if you can see them very well. Are quite good, and then things like the speed brakes are deeper lines because yeah. Do excuse me, please. So, yes, the panel lines are nice, and then when they're something important like rudders or speed brakes, spoilers. No, they're speed brakes. Spoilers go on the wings. Then they're actually not as dramatic. Not entirely convinced by the weapons load. I guess those are supposed to be harms. They can't possibly be fire flash or whatever. These, I don't know, exocets or something like that. Anyway, we'll see what it looks a decent little kit, so we'll get on with it. It's a new Jetstream, handy page Jetstream, very nice. Reaper 50. How do you tint an F-35 canopy? I'm pretty sure I've seen some tinting film online somewhere. I'll check it out and find out. Chris, yeah, arthritic sausage fingers. Tell me, well, I'm not arthritic, but they're definitely sausages. Dane, Stuart, 2 B-17s. Oh, Masters of the Air. Yeah, I know. Whatever. Good man. Oh, the work's in progress on the group page on Facebook. Do remember, if you use Facebook, do please go to Gary's Friends stuff. Check it out. Join up. There's 550 some. I think it's over the triple nickel of 555 members. It's a very genial, welcoming, nice place to be, and I'm really that's one of the things I'm really proud of with this whole YouTube enterprise, as it were, is that the Facebook page we've got is actually just really good. It's not these people saying, oh yes, well I wouldn't have done that, I would have blah 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 blah, when you know perfectly well they've never made a kit in their lives. It's full of people who have actually make stuff and actually want to help people make stuff, and it's brilliant. I love it. I'm just so happy with it. Tamiya do a translucent smoke paint. They do indeed, and he says confidently, reaching into his Tamiya paint drawer. He found it first time. Smoke, X19 smoke. You can thin it down a little bit with your regular X20A or whatever, and spray that on. That will do a nice little job, I suppose. There is like a kind of a there's like a sort of a sorry to use a technical term, dichromic look to it. So it's like a sort of magenta and green sort of thing. I think it's like an interference thing, but I'm sure I can get film for it. But that will do the trick. Well done, well done. Excuse me a minute. Oh dear. Yeah. Andy. Oh, Andy. Yeah. How you doing, mate? Anyone recommend a very decent gloss black base, an equivalent to Alcoa? I don't use gloss, but the I do use. It's a bit controversial, I know, but I do use this one shot MIG one shot, and that's kind of glossy. It's not really super gloss, but it is quite glossy and really easy to use. It's like a mixed sort of acrylic and polyurethane, so it's a bit of a pain to whatever, but it does have a slightly glossy finish to it. And I put Vallejo metal color or whatever it's called on top of that, and it looks really good. So that's what I would use personally. But there may be others. Other black glossy primers are available. Jongs, what's the biggest model you've built? probably the Airfix Vulcan and Valiant. I've got a Victor up there waiting to be done at some point, but I guess that's probably it. I mean, when I started the channel, oh god, I sound like I'm so old. Back in the old days when one had the channel, I literally, I kid you not about this. It sounds bizarre, but I actually did most of my work on my office desk with my computer pushed backwards, and it's an iMac, so it's quite easy to push backwards. Taped background paper to that, so it rolled down the front of the computer onto the desk and filmed on that. Now I'm very lucky. I've got a shooting table, and I'm getting another table hopefully this week for a paint booth and things like that. But when I first started out, that kind of limits things. So I've got a CH54 coming from ICM, the Tahi, that stupid big thing. I'm not entirely sure I'm going to build that at all. In fact, I'll probably not. I just don't have the room to build that. So that's kind of the limit of where I'm going. 124th Spitfire as well. That's a fairly biggish thing, and I really like that. I really love that kit. Really like that kit. So there's going to be some more biggish scale things I'll do later on. There's DBMK. I don't know if you watch. Hope you watch Monday Matters. On Monday Matters, they were saying DBMK are doing 1/32 scale late model Spitfires and Seafires. So the Griffin engine ones. So starting with the 14, the 22, and the 24, and probably the Mark 17 Seafire. They will eventually do the wonderful and beautiful FR Mark 47 Seafire as well in 1/32. I was chatting with Will, one of the owners, the other day, and he said yes, we will be doing these. So they'll be doing a whole range of Griffin engined Spitfires in 1/32. They're going to be pretty big. They're going to bring out the 1/32 scale Sea Fury. They're hoping that will be available. In fact, it should be available at Telford. The scheduling of the tooling and testing and all that means oh, excuse me. It should be available at Telford, which would be absolutely amazing. I've seen the CADs on that, and it's beautiful. And they've got some really clever things they're doing. You know how, like, check out my interview with them that's online when I was at Telford. But you know how a lot of resin extras, resin parts come on these little resin sprues, and then the pieces stick out from them. They're not on like round sprues, they're on just like little bars of resin, and you can just chop off the little bit. They think, well, why can't we do that with plastic? So that's what they're designing. The very smallest parts will be on these little standalone little blocks, and they're going to be so easy. You can paint them and just nip them off, put them in. Brilliant. They're also on the 1/32 Sea Fury, and I can only assume on other kits as well. They are all like in the undercarriage bay where you've got all the pipe work, all the hydraulic pipe work. They're going to put the pipe unions in as parts, but they're going to probably supply the metal for the pipes separately and show you how to cut them, so you actually get that sort of scratch built look, but it comes with the kit, and it will look absolutely mega. Now if they can do that with the Spitfires as well, they are going to sell loads of them. It's absolutely, I promise you. I think DBMK, I know I shout out a lot of these companies because it sounds like I haven't got anything invested in them. They're not giving me stuff. They're not doing anything, but they're good people. They're properly dedicated, really model makers and model builders, and they're fantastic guys. They're so enthusiastic about this hobby, and that's why I shout them out, because I think they're going to be a proper brand. Like people talk about, well, yeah, we talk about Airfix and Revel, and then there's another level, and then there's a top level. And you think like wingnut wings, things like, I think they could be pretty much pushing the wingnut wings level of detail and accuracy, and but the thing is, they'll help you out by providing all these bits. I think that's the way they are going to really do. Keep an eye out. Subscribe to their, or follow them on Facebook, DBMK Models. They are brilliant, really, really good people. Simon, I need a medicinal ale to lubricate my cough. Funny you should say that. The ale of the day is something called Steam Brew. It's a session IPA brewed in Germany, which is why it's available at Lidl, being a German company. So I do have one. I had a hot ginger drink before I came on, but yeah, it's obviously not doing the job. Beer, obviously, is the answer, as always. So, the 1/72 scale Bristol Bowfighter. That's a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous kit. The main difficulty you had was finding the beige green colour for the underside. That, if I am not mistaken, is that not Sky Type S, which Airfix does. Sorry, Humbrol does. I know Vallejo do. I'm pretty sure that Revel do as well. So there's probably quite a few people that do that. Unless I've got the wrong colour, of course. Yes. What? Yeah, NH. What? Now you want a beer, or you want a Sea Fury or an Airfix? I don't know. Nick, hey Nick, how are you? Good to see you're still here. That's a nice brew. Excuse me. Yes, it actually is a very tasty brew. It's not expensive either. It's really, really nice. It's very good. Rob, how's my dad doing? Actually, I saw him. I went up to see him today. The problem, the only slight problem is it's a 2-hour journey there and a 2-hour back on public transport, because we live in London. But he's a lot better. He'll probably be going home this week. So he's doing all right. But you know what? He's 93 and he's not a well man. But you know, he's doing all right. He's a fighter. He's beaten 2 loads of sepsis and MRSA in his time. So yeah, I do expect he'll be getting a tell him whatever they send from Buckingham Palace when he's 100. By the way he's going, bless his heart. Yeah, he's doing fine. Thank you, Rob. He's better, certainly a lot better than he was. So thank you very much for asking. Some Airfix kits were on sale in my Aldi. Oh, you meant Lidl? You know, I was in Lidl because I got the beer. I didn't see any, but oh, hey ho. Beer, then Sea Fury. I'm easy to please. Well, yeah, that's exactly the best way around. And Mike, I definitely will. Dad's always asked. He always asks about you, and he asks about Neil. I'm sorry to people who don't know me. You don't. Neil and Mike are my 2 best friends in the world. We shared a lot of great summers together, and they're just people I know I can rely on, and I hope they know they can rely on me if anything goes wrong. Neil is also a model maker. He came with me to Telford last year, not the recent one, the one before that. So yeah, we go a long way back, probably more way back than any of us care to mention. But yeah, thanks mate, thanks Mike, really appreciate it, fella. DB, sorry, Brian, DB, Delta Bravo Mike Kilo. I hope you're all impressed, I know that. Oh, Johan Simons, hi everyone, greetings from Belgium. Belgium, excellent. My neighbour's from Belgium. Well, one of them is from Belgium, the other one's whatever. But yeah, one of my neighbours is from Ghent. In fact, I went to Ghent once for work. It's a beautiful place. Not just chocolates, absolutely lovely. Adam, I was in the cadets at school. I was in the CCF at school, Combined Cadet Force, and it was a world of fun. Thank you. It was brilliant. It led to so many exciting adventures, and it had a lot of friendships, doing a lot of really weird things. This was in like the late 70s, so you really could do some weird stuff then you probably couldn't do for health and safety. Now, flew in my Hawker Hunter T7 because I was in the Air Cadets. We went on summer camp, was it summer camp or Easter camp, to RAF Brawdy in Wales, which at the time was home of the Tactical Weapons Unit, where they train RAF pilots to drop things and shoot things. And then whilst we were there, I guess our CO was in the officers' mess one night, and someone recognised him, went over to have a chat with him. Eric Thomas, this was an old boy of the school, and said, I can take one of your chaps flying if you like. And I was the lucky one to win the straw, putting straws. What an astounding experience that was when you're 17. Let me just see what. Yes, that's okay. Why if I Glavar a Drambuie? Yes, these spirit-like things. What I really need is like a 20-year-old Ardbeg single malt. That cures everything in existence. So don't have one, but it would. So I've had my hot ginger drink, I'm having my beer. We'll get there. Did you get to fly on your own? Not in Hunter, I bloody didn't. But no, I actually did the gliding course when I was in the cadets. So I qualified as a glider pilot and did a bit more flying after that. Got to Gold C standard. Did a few really long flights and long duration flights and stuff like that. And I loved gliding. Excuse me. And in more recent years, I was very lucky to hook up with a guy who, through my work at the time, I was working for a picture agency, and we wanted photos of a flight simulator or an airliner. And I said, best thing to do is get in touch with the guys who got a flight simulator. He ran the flight sims for British Airways, got to know him, played golf, and ended up flying a lot on their 747 simulator, to the point where I felt fairly confident if anything were to go wrong on a 747, I could land it. Unfortunately, no one really, like British Airways, don't fly 747s anymore. But things like 777s are a lot easier because they've got automatic trim, whereas the 747, proper pilot's aeroplane, had trim to worry about as well. Absolutely love it. I saw. Oh yes, Ghent is gorgeous, and it's absolutely lovely. I went there to visit. Do excuse me, I'm so sorry. I went there to visit a chap who runs an electron microscope. A microscope lab at the so-called VIB at Ghent, which is like a research place. And what I didn't know about this guy Chris was that not only is he a brilliant microscopist, but he's also a massive, massive foodie. So he took me to a restaurant there that was, there's no menu. You turn up there and it's like, right, we have 5 courses for you. This is what we're going to give you, and these are the wines we're going to serve. And you go, thank you very much. There's like 12 covers at the most, and it was absolutely astonishing. I mean, properly astonishing. The day after that, we went to his lab and had a look around and did work stuff. Then before I came home, he took me to a place in Kent. Now it's kind of opposite the cathedral, down a bit of a side street, and a chocolatier, the best chocolate I have eaten in my life. Took me there. I bought a huge kilo box of it to bring home with me. He then said, you know, oh, when's your train? I figured out when the train. Oh, we've got time for a beer. Went out for a beer, the two of us chatting about this and that, and gave me some beer. It came in like a porcelain bottle. That should have been a bit of a notice that things were going to go a bit crazy, and it was very tasty. It went down a treat. It went down so well. It was 10.8%, and I had another one of those. Got on the Eurostar, came back to London, met my dear wife for a champagne afternoon tea. What a great journey. Kent has got a brilliant, brilliant association for me. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Bruges is very nearly as good, by the way. Hey, Keith from Tassie. How you doing, matey? How I got a ride in a tornado? Longish story. When I worked for Nikon, the camera company, after I left college, I went to Nikon, and we had a lot of contact with the military because they were using a lot of our cameras, or Nikon cameras, for various things. And one of them was I ended up getting a flight in the Phantom, which was brilliant, over the North Sea, intercepting stuff, which was great fun. And a result, by a very complicated route, I ended up being invited to fly in a tornado, and that was insane. I mean, proper insane. The Hunter, when you're 17, the Hunter, and you're used to BAC 111s and Tridents, taking off to go to Spain or whatever, was phenomenal. I mean, incredible. It was a beautiful, beautiful aeroplane. The Phantom and the Tornado are just brutal. They're nice, they're pretty, and but they are brutal. They sort of bully the air into getting out of the way. It's absolutely astonishing. So I've been low level in a Tornado. I've been Mach 2 in a Phantom. I've flown in a Jaguar, Hunter, Hawk. Never got to fly in a Harrier. Never managed to find out a way there. It's just literally, it's all just right place, right time. I'm incredibly lucky when I was young. And the other thing was, there's a time span for currency for your ejector seat drill and immersion drill and things like that. And I was lucky in that when they phoned up and said, when I did the Phantom, I had to re-qualify for ejector seat drill and immersion drill because we were going over the North Sea. And then when we organised the Tornado, it was close enough that I didn't have to re-qualify that, which would have said, if you're not qualified that, you can't fly. And I did this in whatever date at Waddington, and they said, oh, okay, that's fine, we can take you then. So it's a lot of it is right place, right time, and pure luck. So anyway, And also, Keith, thanks very much for your yeah, Dad's getting better. Thank you so much. That's really cool. Um, yeah, Alan Witten. Your father was in the RAF regiment. His job was to shoot fast jets down. Yes, absolutely, it was. Love to find a 40 mil. I'm sure there must be a model of the 40 mil Bofors out there, or indeed Rapier, which of course the RAF regiment had. Excellent stuff. Good man. Your father was a rock ape. Top man, let me tell you. 1968 Concorde. How many has gone Mach 2 like me? Well, I have, but not in the style to which you have on Concorde. I know you've flown on Concorde a couple of times, mate. Many years ago, when I was with the people who, when I was working for the company with the flight simulator and stuff, we got a good relationship with BA, and when Concorde was about to be taken out of service, they allowed us to go and photograph them in the hangars and do some really good work around there, and the new fuel tank liners and stuff like that. Anyway, and so we ended up sitting in a Concorde, and a proper service Concorde, and we sat in there, and I said, "Do you know what? I know I don't mean to disrespect one of the most beautiful aircraft ever designed, but it's a bit tight around the hips, let's say, for a luxury aircraft." And the guy showing us around laughed, and he said, "Yeah, thing is," he said, "if you need to be in New York in 3 hours, this is the plane for you. If you want to be flying at 60,000 feet and Mach 2, you've got two options. You can either join the Royal Air Force and be up there with an oxygen mask and your bone dome and all this, and your olive green suit strapped tightly into an ejection seat and not really enjoying it, or you could be sitting here in your lounge suit being offered one of 3 champagnes. Which would you rather?" And I thought, yeah, that's why Concorde was good. You have to be there, and you do it in absolute luxury, even though it's a little bit squeezed this way. There's tons of leg room, and there's 3 different types of champagne. What a machine. What a beautiful thing. Ah, dear. Johan, you took off and never landed. What, you jumped out of it? I'm guessing you parachuted out of it. That's the best way to do things, frankly. I mean, everyone knows a parachute is a safety mechanism, right? And everyone should know that landing's actually the most dangerous part of the flight. So, if you get rid of the most dangerous part of the flight by using a safety mechanism, i.e. said parachute, that's a good one. That's a good one. Simon, yes, there is a vintage classic of the Bofors gun. You're absolutely right. I've forgotten about that. Well done. Why do manufacturers insist on putting stencils on 1/72 models? Adrian, Adrian, I am with you on that. I've made a few vintage classics, like the Boomerang springs to mind, where Luke, the researcher, has found these stencils that were there, but you put them on a 1/72 kit, especially a vintage classic kit, you can't see the damn things at all. You just can't see them. And if you quite often, if you're doing a bare metal finish, it's that sort of speckly, silvery stuff. No matter what you put on, you can't see it. There's the Meteor, the Airfix Meteor. It's got 1/48th, maybe even at I can't remember if it's got them at 1/72, but certainly at 1/48th. It's got the little step that comes out for the pilot to step on to get into the cockpit, and there's a little sort of step decal that goes on that, and it is so small. And I think, I'm never, ever, ever going to be able to see that when it's on the... They do it for the sake of completion. They do it so that people like me don't phone up and say, "Oi, Luke, you've missed out this decal." It's my blame me, blame me. Ba, 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 ba. Solo jump. Oh, nice. Nice. A solo jump. Excellent stuff, mate. Did one with, who is it? The Red Devils. Again, when I was at Nikon, we used to give them a photographic kit and all that, and they did a thing, hey, why don't you come on, da 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 da. Did a static jump out over Aldershot. Really good fun. Really good fun. As I'm floating down on my parachute, it worked. I could see the all the things being set up for the Farnborough Air Show in the distance. That was nice. That was nice. Yeah, Paul. Even the V bomber cockpits don't offer much room. You're absolutely right. Crew space wasn't a priority for British designers. Absolutely. Yeah. And inside a Victor, you're a very lucky man. I would have loved a Victor. Would have loved to have flown in one. Wouldn't have minded walking around one, but would have loved to have flown in one. What a beautiful aeroplane. I've got one up there. I should build it at some point. I should build this at some point as well instead of chattering. Jaws, I know. The number of steps. Yeah, I've got the FGR one kit up there, right? I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, I would love to do it in the colours of the one I flew in. However, I would then have 3,500 stencils to put on. And I really, really, really don't want to be doing that. So I have to make the decision. Do I build it and not bother with any stencils that I'm not going to see? Or do I build it in the black camouflage one or the black airshow one and have like a third of the number of stencils? I'm kind of opting towards the one I flew in, but with very few stencils. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me one moment. There's lots of people messaging me as well. Okay, sorry. Yeah, cool. Victor, do you know? Yeah, Victor is just one of those things. It looks like so Thunderbirds. Even now, it looks exceptionally beautiful, and it just looks so advanced even now. It's not even in service anymore. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's Larry Lightning, Kurt McW. Okay. I should just point out, here are the instructions. Yeah, you put those together and you put that. This is old school Airfix, isn't it? That's it. That's the whole instruction sheet for this kit. Do those. Add those. Okay. Wonderful. I need to do the wings. Yeah, they do. The wings separately. Do the wings and then put them in, because otherwise they can't put the fuselages together. Oh. Also, been in the Cess Concorde, the one with the dustbin lid over a hole in the floor where one poor whatever left the plane at Mach 2. He jumped out of an aeroplane at Mach 2. Are you absolutely kidding me, Leslie? Whoa! That is some insane thing to do. That's John Stapp level of mad. John Stapp, by the way, is the guy who strapped himself to a rocket sled to test the effects of sudden deceleration. I can't remember how many G he went through. It's like sort of 50 G or something. He went on a rocket sled and there's like a water thing at the end and just stopped. And he was something to do with testing the effects of body on ejecting at high speeds. excuse me, and he ended up like really, really, really badly ill as a result of it, but he got away with it. I use a scalpel. Yes, I know. Simon, what I'm using... do please excuse me. I'm just using sanding sticks. I make my own sanding sticks. This is a 400 grit sandpaper stuck to a lolly stick, basically. That's what I do. Chris, is the tornado problem solved, Gary? Yes, I was saying earlier, the guys at Revel have hooked me up with a canopy piece for a later release of the GR1 that they happen to have as a demo or you know, shop front piece, and they're sending it to me for free. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Dane, thanks very much for dropping in, mate. I hope I'll be making your tornado very soon, the one you sent me, the Desert Babes one. Dana's sent me a lot of very interesting kits to make, and I feel very guilty I've yet to make them, because they're really, really nice. It's a good lad. A lot of you are good people, really, really good people. So, there we go. Okay, Leslie, his bio is called Mac 2 to 0. I'll look that out. I'm fascinated by these sort of biographies of lesser known people in the world of aviation research. It's a lot of people that do some really crazy stuff and they never get recognised for it. Oh, Joe, I'm really glad you could join in. Joe Olmo, thank you so much for coming along. I know you weren't sure whether you could. I'm really glad you did, mate. Really glad. Thank you so much for dropping by. You normally have insanely early hours, I know. I know you. Dane, thank you. At my leisure. I know, thank you very much, mate. But you know, you kind of feel like I should be doing at least this and at least that. I'm going to put that Focke-Wulf 190 really high on the build list, I promise you. Okay, so it works. How about that? So we will. Oh goodness, fit at the back here is pretty poor, I have to say. The fit doesn't quite with here, this little bit here. Not very good, Mr. Academy. Anyway, I will get some tape and tape that up. Darren Hicks, hi Gary, what is your favourite Airfix kit? Jaws, I'll see you in about 30 to 40 minutes. I'll still be here, mate. Safe journey, take it easy, don't rush, I'll still be here, don't worry. Right, what is my favourite Airfix kit? Whoa, that's a really, really difficult question, mate. Goodness. I actually don't know. What's my favourite Airfix kit. Part of me thinks it should be the 124 scale Spitfire because we got to be invited to the announcement of it, and it was kind of like the first big Airfix event I was invited to, and it also meant I met the guys down at New Haven, who are absolutely properly brilliant people, who you will be hearing more of in the near future, by the way, and I need to pop down and see them. Model Works is the name of the store they've set up down there, and they're great people. So that's got a lot of good. That's wrong, upside down, Jesus. That's got a lot of associations for me, good associations for me. They're really, really good people. And that 124 Spitfire, the pink Spitfire I did, it was a nice piece of conversion that I thought I wasn't really sure whether I was up for it. I wasn't really sure whether I was good enough to do it, and it came out really, really well. And the club guys asked me to take it to Telford for their stand last year, which was really good. It's kind of one of those kits with builds where you think, do you know what, I actually kind of almost know what I'm doing now. So that would be I guess one of my favourites is going to be that that Spitfire. The other one I would say will be the 148th Seafire FR47, only because it was the first kit I made for my dad to say, here's a kit, I'm making some stuff, here's a kit from of a plane you'll remember from your service. He was in the Fleet Air Arm in Korea and Malaya before it, where they were flying the 47, and I remember it from his but his photo albums when I was a kid. So that was a very important kit to me in a way. So I guess, yeah, that'd be it. 24th scale Spitfire and the 48th scale Seafire 47 are my favourite Airfix kits. There are lots of others I've really enjoyed making. The Buccaneer, the 148th Buccaneer, is amazing. I'm kind of not so... I'm still making the 148th Gannet, and I'm kind of sort of stuck on that because I'm not really enjoying it. Only because I don't know why. It's a mojo thing. It's not because it's a bad kit, because it isn't. It's a brilliant kit, really, really beautifully made. I'm just not enjoying the process, as it were, for many reasons. But yeah, I guess that 48th scale Seafire and the 24th scale Spitfire are fantastic. Right. Jacob, am I ever going to do a C-47 Skytrain? Absolutely, I can do. I just need to get hold of one. If I get hold of one, I'll probably make it. I mean, it's a great, yeah, it's a classic DC-3 C-47. Most manufactured aircraft in history, I believe. Absolutely wonderful. Simon, I've recently done desert paint mix by using the Humble instructions. 4 parts of 118 to 3 parts of 34. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good to me. I believe you. Andy, Model Works is great. I need to go for a drive over the South Gowns again soon. Absolutely, they're an absolutely brilliant little company, little shop, right next door to Plastech, who make the 124 scale Spitfire for Airfix, as well as many, many, many other things. And they're properly enthusiastic people. It's like a proper old school model shop where they'll stand and chat and give advice, and the advice they give is very good. I mean, there are lots and lots of other shops like this around the country. So if you've got like a local model store, please do. I know it's easy in the days of internet and all the rest of it. It's easy just to sit back and think, I'll blow it, I'll order it online. But if you can, please do support your local model shops. I know a lot of you do, and a lot of you think it's the best thing there is. So yeah, good for you. You've been working on the Sword Gannet AEW for a few months and struggling to finish it. Yep. As I say, it's a bad kit, because it absolutely isn't. It's just a bit of a mojo thing. It's my fault also for choosing the one with the invasion stripes. And when I see invasion stripes, I cannot use the decals they supply. I have to paint them. and it causes so many problems, and it kind of, it kind of saps your will to continue quite often. And anyway, I've done them, so hopefully that will boost me up to get this damn thing finished. Adam, sometimes it can be too detailed. It's not like it's almost like the Gannet to me feels like work. I had a friend years ago who was a musician, an orchestral musician, proper serious orchestral musician, and I used to go to a lot of concerts because I love lots of types of music. To be honest, you know, one day I'll be listening to the Royal Philharmonic, next day Green Day. But this guy used to say, "Oh, do you fancy going to this?" No, music's work. And he used to fall asleep in concerts because music to him was work. He loved music. He listened to music at home, but couldn't go to concerts because it felt like work. The Gannet to me feels like work, if you know what I mean. I love the kit. If you're into making Fleet Air Army 148th, I would recommend it without a hesitation. It is a stunningly well engineered kit. I'm just struggling with the sort of impetus to model it, if you like, you know. But it's a beautiful thing. But other things, like my Fairy Delta, and what else have I got up there? I've got a P40 Tomahawk I'm working on, things like that. You know, they're fine. I just think, oh, okay, I'll do those. That's grand. And I really enjoy making them. Really enjoy it. Seriously do enjoy it. Chris, you're going to get the Belgian Sea King Airfix 148 with extra parts and decals and masks. Brilliant. When we went to the launch of the Sea King model, actually, at Historic Helicopters, they've got a Sea King in Belgian markings, and they were saying the Belgian Sea Kings are like national treasures. That, you know, like everyone knows the Belgian Sea King in Belgium. Everyone knows about them and what they look like, and what the colours are and stuff like that. It's like a really sort of important part of the being Belgian, I guess. And that's a brilliant thing. I guess they do so much good work in SC rescue and community support and things like that. They're very well revered aircraft, and quite rightly so. You know, these guys who do ASR in particular are proper heroes, to be honest. In all sorts of weathers and all sorts of conditions, they go out and fly these big old helicopters or inches from cliffs and stuff, and they're really, really amazing. So I'm glad you're doing that. It's a great tribute. I suspect Airfix will do them themselves eventually, but yeah, you can't hang around. Mawson Bay Modelling. Hey, good day from Brizzy. Oh, good day to you too, matey. Southport Model Shop sadly passed. Well, that's really sad. That's really sad. You see, proper old school model shops, you learn so much from them, not just about plastic kits, but about all sorts of things. They're generally run by people who really know what they're talking about as well. Andy, I started to like simple kits. Yeah, me too. I like starter sets, the FX starter sets, for example. I'm getting really into them. They're so easy to do, and it really is a relaxing thing to do. You know, a relaxing, easy thing to do, and you get a result. I'm really interested. I might actually have to get hold of one of the new BF 109s. Is going to come out soon in the starter set. I built the one from the gift sets that Lidl and Aldi have done for the last few years, actually, at Christmas. It's okay. The new starter set being waved over it should actually make a really, really nice kit. So I'm going to grab hold of one of those sometime. And just sometimes a thing that goes together well and looks cool it's really enjoyable. Look at the quick builds I did over Christmas. Some of those, that camper, that VW camper van, is a brilliant kit. I mean, proper brilliant little kit. And I'm sure if you wanted to, you could glue it up and fill in some of the things and get a really nice kit of a camper van. Excuse me. As a result, Dutch Spitfire, have I seen Masters of the Air? No, I haven't yet. I do have access to it. I just do not have the time at the moment. So I will catch up on all these things. And yeah, it looks amazing. What I've heard is it is incredible and surprisingly realistic. And all that. So yeah, I will watch it, but I haven't yet. What else? Michael, are you enjoying it? Thank you so much. So am I, actually. A Canadian seeking. Look, the thing is with. Sorry, need to do it with a. I forgot I can do it with a mouse now. The thing is with Airfix is when they release a thing, they'll do a release, but they are now thinking, especially when you're something like the 148 seeking, which is a massive investment in kit, is that they will be thinking along into the future. What can we do for the second release? What can we do for the third release, fourth release, and so on? There may well be a Canadian one in the future. So do keep your eyes out. They may well be doing one. So I'm just trying to master the mouse here. Duke Wellington made a Hurricane Mark 1 from a company called Sweet. That rings a bell. 2 kits in the box, 1 in styrene and 1 in clear plastic. Very odd. Very, very odd. Hey ho. Andy, the A model A40 flying tank. Do you know what? I hesitate to say this in case Mystery Box Nick is listening and he thinks, haha, I'll get one of those for him. But that is one kit I thought, do you know what? I'm not going to bother with that. I really don't want to know about that. Because that looks like a proper nightmare, my friend. Lincoln length tracks. It's a 1/72 scale kit. Lincoln length. Oh my goodness me. Crazy. Crazy. Gary T. Love modelling but hate painting. You know, I saw someone earlier on Facebook. They'd done like a now and then thing, and the then thing was building a hawk, I think it was, as he remembers doing, which was basically just building the kit and not bothering painting it at all, for various reasons. And then I think it's going to do a now thing where he's going to do a hawk and all the whatever. But yeah, do you know what? It's all about what you're happy with. If you just want to make a kit, and also quite often it's the process of making it rather than the result that's the thing that we care about. So you want to make it and not bother painting it. It's up to you, mate. If you enjoyed making it, that's all that matters. Everything's all about, this whole hobby is all about what you enjoy doing, and you do not let anyone else tell you what to do, and you just stick with what you're happy doing. If you want to make something, I think I've enjoyed the process of making it. It's been therapeutic, it's been cathartic, it's just been fun, whatever it is, and you end up with a bare plastic thing that looks like what it's supposed to be. You think, great, next. Without painting it, that is great. Good for you, because you've enjoyed it, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. If you want to learn how to paint, that's great. There's so much stuff on YouTube, and you know, people join the Facebook group, Gary's Friends stuff. There'll be loads of people there who can offer you really genuinely helpful advice about how to paint stuff. But if you don't want to, because you want to just build stuff, that's all okay too. It's no one's place to tell you otherwise. So you just enjoy the hobby, as much as you want. And if you want to develop skills, there's plenty of help out there. So keep it going, mate. I love it. I love it. Michael, is it possible to remove dried on decals that are really messed up? I believe if you use something like Microsol, it will allow you to lift off the decals. Obviously, if you've subsequently varnished them, no, you're going to have to paint over and start again. But if you haven't varnished it on and they've just gone wrong, Microsol, good soak of that, they'll come off. No problem at all. I've found that anyway. Maybe unintentionally, let's say, but definitely Microsol will do the trick. Rob, yeah, buy some cheap kits and practice. Yeah, if you do want to paint. Oh, excuse me so much. I'm looking for an example. Yeah, look, I'm not good with armour, so I got an Airfix starter set of a Tiger tank, and I just started messing around with the tracks, putting track rusty stuff, and then some like brushing over some steel for the stuff. Obviously, I haven't done these yet. I can shade those up and whatever later. But I was just more concerned with the tracks and having a play. I haven't finished with these yet. I'm not entirely happy with them. They look a bit too bright. But then I might do another wash of sort of rust or grime or something like that over them. And also, I'll be using this kit to try some camouflage effects, sort of German camouflage effects on the sand. They used to have like a brown and green sort of effect they used to do. I'll be doing that on a starter set. Starter sets are brilliant for that. And as we've heard, obviously around Christmas time especially, I suspect around Easter time or in the summer as well, Aldi and Lidl will start selling these at absolutely bargain basement prices, so you can get a paint mule and have some fun. Just try and see how you go with it. That's what I think. Anyway, there we go. What else have we got here? Leslie, just found my copy of David Luff's book on the Bristol Bulldog. Is the Airfix Bulldog on my list? Yes, it is. I have pre-ordered the Chinook and the Bulldog and the Liberator. Those are the 3 pre-orders I've put in. At the moment, I really am looking forward to all 3. Chinook, an absolute classic. Bulldog, what a beautiful design. And of course the Liberator, the most largely produced bomber in history. Who doesn't like a Liberator? And a new toolkit of the Liberator from Airfix. It is something that is very exciting to me. A lot of people don't disrespect Airfix, but sort of look down on them. I think the kits they're making now is just, some of them are just astonishing. The engineering and the planning, the development and the planning and thought is just incredible. So yeah, those are the three biggies I've pre-ordered. I'm hoping, big fingers crossed, that later on when they provide surprise ones, that they might actually send some to me. But yeah, we'll see how we go with that. I will say the lovely people at Airfix, but not as generous as ICM. Just say. ACF Nuggets pre-ordered the Whitley, Hamden and Walrus. Excellent. Whitley pre-ordered the Whitley. Oh goodness. I've never made that Whitley, but I would like to one day. Hamden, that's the vintage classic Hamden. They really need to retool that. And the Walrus, what a beauty that will be. And I hope you're going to rig it completely. Not like, well, yeah, I would actually. I would rig it if it was a. Wish they'd bring back the 172nd Nimrod. Yes, me too. they would have to bring it back as a vintage classic, I guess, because of its age. But also, I don't know if necessarily they own the moulds. Because of the slightly convoluted history of Airfix and who took over what and when, um, some of this stuff isn't ever going to be available because the current Humbrol Limited doesn't own the intellectual property on, or the physical moulds. So things like the Nimrod might be a bit of a problem, sadly. I can't remember if that actually falls into that era, but it's something like that. Something like that. Yeah, as it was earlier, being about Ethic has to go a liberator would take some beating. Well, you know, Ethics has a style, and it's actually not bad. And being of a properly up to date moulding, I hope it will be a really good kit. I mean, you hope these things, but you hope it will be a good kit because you know it's one of those things. When they bring out a kit of a classic aircraft, you're always going to be comparing it because lots of other people will have made that classic aircraft. When they eventually get round to releasing a Halifax, everyone's going to compare it with the Revell Halifax, for example. Yes, but you know, I've got a feeling they'll do a really good job with that Liberator. I've just got a feeling they will. Hey Emma, how you doing? Good to see you. KFT, forgotten I was on, mate. Don't you watch Monday Matters? Really? I should send out a round robin to remind you all. Right, the helicopter rotors. Superglue isn't, for polystyrene, which is what all this stuff is made of, superglue isn't inherently stronger than polystyrene cement. And the reason is superglue works by bonding the two surfaces together. Great. Polystyrene cement works by essentially a chemical weld. So it actually partially melts the faces of polystyrene. They go together, they mix together, and then as the solvent evaporates and the curing process happens, essentially it becomes one piece of polystyrene. So superglue means it's two pieces of polystyrene bonded tightly together, whereas polystyrene cement actually chemically bonds the two pieces. I think it's a much stronger bond, but here's the thing: superglue works in seconds. A really good chemical bond of polystyrene cement is hours. Okay, you've got to give it loads of time for the solvent to work its way out and for the curing process to happen. So if you're doing helicopter rotors, use polystyrene cement, but tape them up or peg them or whatever, keep them in good contact, put them somewhere safe and flat, and leave it overnight. That's my advice. It would be much better because it actually forms, it's like welding, literally like welding. You intermingle the plastic in the two parts, whereas superglue is just bonding the two halves together. That's my advice. I don't know if anyone else agrees with it. That's just my advice. But you must give it plenty of time to cure. I would suggest overnight. That's what I always do with helicopter rotors in plastic. I'll be doing it with the Rotodyne. Put them together, tape them up or peg them up, and leave them overnight somewhere flat where you want them to set, and you'll be absolutely sorted. Emma, how do you simulate the revolving prop? Or what? I've seen people do it like with celluloid and cut out bits of celluloid and spray one bit of celluloid just so you get that sort of blurry effect. That kind of works very well. But anyway, who else does other things? Absolutely, Russell, thank you. Scientific response, excellent intention, but weak in shear. So excellent intention, weak in shear. Normal stuff. Gorilla glue. Yeah, okay. Chris, do I have an FA Martlet in my collection? No, I don't, sadly. I have made a Wildcat in 1/72 in the past. I would like to make an FAA 1/48 Martlet. I believe the Tamiya kit is gorgeous. Which FAA kits do you still want to make? Very easy. The 1/32 FR47 the Seafire, when DBMK eventually get round to building it. They are also doing a 1/48 scale Scimitar, which I really would like. And I would love for someone to make a 1/48 scale Hawker Osprey from the 30s. There's a Hawker Nimrod made by someone like Luke Graf. It's a resin thing, costs about 140 quid. Probably never going to do that. What I would probably do if I was going to make a Nimrod would be to get a couple of Hawker Fury kits and extend the wings and scratch build a head pad for the pilot and the hook and all that sort of stuff. But no one makes anything like a Hawker Osprey in 1/48. I would love for someone to do that. I would like to make everything my dad's squadron had in 1/48. So that would be the original Hawker Nimrod, the Hawker Osprey. They had the Skewer, the Rock, the Fulmer. I know Trumpeter have just released a Fulmer in 1/48. Special Hobby do a Skewer and a Rock. They had a Sea Gladiator. They did the Mars Magister. After the Fulmer, they had Sea Hurricanes. Then Hellcats. The Hellcats. Then the Seafire 15, 17 and 47. Then the Attacker, the Submarine Attacker. What did they have after the Attacker? Seahawk, the Scimitar, Buccaneer S1, Buccaneer S2, and then the Sea Harriers. So that's the whole lot that my dad's Squadron 800 Naval Air Squadron had. All of those are available apart from a 1/48 Scimitar, which will be available before the end of the year. And no one makes an Osprey, and I can convert a Nimrod. So yeah, that would be lovely. That would be lovely. Has anyone made an ICM 1/48 Spitfire? I haven't, Andy. I'm sorry I can't help you, mate, on that. How long would it take if Airfix retooled the Nimrod now? The Hawker Nimrod, or the Hawker Siddeley Nimrod, the anti-submarine aircraft, to retool, they'd be, I guess you'd be looking at about 2 years, and you'd be looking at about £300,000 roughly. Yeah, they'd need a good reason to do that. Simon, hi, glad you could join in, my friend. Oh, keep doing that, and I have got a mouse here. Oh my goodness. Robert, aliphatic glue for the bulk. I think that you mean polystyrene cement, I hope. And cyanoacrylate for instant grab. Do you know what? I have used that on the Vulcan build. You've got the big lower wingset, and then you've got the insert that's a structure for, like, it's not a spar, but it's like a boxing. I found cyanoacrylate super glue really good for like spot welding effectively, and then run regular glue around it to actually bond it permanently. So that's a good point. That's a good point. if I was going to build a Sea Vixen, which kit would I go for? Probably the Airfix 148, only because I'm really getting into 148s these days, and it was a big old beastie, and I think it would be fun, and it's reasonably reasonably new, so it should be a good one. Emma, how about a Hurricane? Might make a good display on the catapult. Yeah, it'd be brilliant. I mean, you only ultimately all you need is the catapult system, because the Hurricanes were essentially Hurricanes. Or Sea Hurricanes. I think they're converted to Sea Hurricanes because they had naval radio sets, and the airspeed indicators were in knots rather than miles per hour. That's the biggest differences. But they were essentially converted old Hurricanes, Sea Hurricanes. It would be a great display on a catapult, actually. What have we got? Aliphatic glue is for wood. Oh, is that like PVA basically? I wonder. I don't know. Anyway, almost caught up with things. Amazing. I haven't put a fin on my mighty fin. There we go. That's not a great fit. I will do a little bit of sanding now. So, I hope you're enjoying the fact that we're catching up on a Tuesday as well. This will be a regular thing. Third Tuesday of every month. We will, well, I'll be here. Whether you're here or not is up to you, but I hope you will be here, because it's always lovely to hear from you all. And we'll have 2 live streams a month. So I will be back on the first Thursday of March, whenever that is. I'm not going to look it up now, but I will be giving it a shout out on Monday Matters. And I will be building then the Meng HMS Hood I started last time, because I like that. But this is quite fun too. There we go, it's much better. Okay. It's similar to PVA, but less stringy and easier to sand. So is that the stuff that, you know, Norm Abram or whatever, the guys who build stuff on the telly would just call wood glue rather than PVA? That sort of slightly yellowish. So it's like wood glue. Wonder how that. Right. More like casein. Oh my goodness. We're getting seriously serious into glue technology here, and I am lost by that. Alan, looking forward to my next kit having written both eyes, yes. A Sea Harrier or an RAF Harrier. Excellent. Excellent stuff. I would always say Sea Harrier. Obviously, as my dad was Fleet Air Arm, but that's just the way I am. Simon made the ICM Spitfire with the beer barrels. Yep. Plastic is very brittle and snaps easily. Do you know what? I think ICM have changed, like Airfix. I think they've changed their plastic a lot, as well as they've changed their design a lot. They've also changed their plastic a lot. When I was building the Mistel, the Junkers 88 with the 109 on top, the 109 was really not nice to build, but the Junkers 88 was absolutely beautiful. So obviously they've had a bit of a change of thought, a change of focus. I'm hoping, I got in touch again today to say, look guys, I'd really like to do an interview with your boss if I can. So I'm hoping that before too long I can do an interview with the guys at ICM and have a chat with them, because I think they do wonderful things. Not only because they send me lots of nice things, but because I genuinely think, you know, the last package they sent me, remember this is a country at war with Russia at the moment. They sent it, it got to the airport absolutely fine, like the next day it was at the airport, it cleared customs, it got on a plane, came to the UK, Took forever to get to me. I missed the delivery, so I had to phone up and say, oh, you can book a redelivery and all that. And I just checked out. Oh yeah, well it was due for delivery, but we didn't actually send it out. Well, why didn't you send it out if it was due for delivery? Well, I don't know. Okay, well please make sure it's sent out this day. I will definitely be in. And it took all that nonsense. It was a real pain in the backside. Whereas actually sending it from Kiev to the airport onto a plane, seamless. And they're at war. Absolutely bonkers. I'd love to know how they do it all. I'd really love to have a chat with them, find out how they are achieving what they achieve in the middle of a war. It's astonishing, absolutely astonishing. I really do think in the last, I don't know, 5 to 7, 8 years, maybe. Excuse me. Maybe the last 10 years or so, they've really upped their game with design, with manufacture and all that. And the stuff they're churning out now is love. The stuff that's in recent kit stuff that they've been churning out. The Gothard 244, the new Junkers 88P that I did the review of today. Some of the vehicles are just beautiful. I mean, the Cossack 2 MRAP vehicle I built, absolute joy to build. And I don't build vehicles very often, and it's a complex kit for me, and I loved it, absolutely loved it. So I think they've really raised their game. There's a couple of companies now who are really thinking, we can't just, that's not good enough anymore, let's step it up a bit. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Is there a Junkers 88 and 172nd? Well, there are a few. That's another thing I keep nagging. Airfix must hate me. I keep saying, where's the Halifax? Where's your Junkers 88? You do a Dornier 17, which is really nice. You do a Heinkel 111, which is nice. Why on earth haven't you done a Junkers 88 yet? It's not like there aren't any. Hey ho. Andy, it's astonishing how Ukrainian companies are still producing. Do you know, it's not just a case of it's not just a case that they're producing stuff, they're moulding plastic and sending out and getting it out to us, but it's also they're still designing new stuff, getting new tools made. It is astonishing, absolutely astonishing. All helps. No, I don't want to be political here, but I love to support them because I prefer them to get the money. However this nonsense works out, the people of Ukraine are going to need money and investment when it's finished, and I think if you support Ukrainian model companies, their books look good. When the investment money starts flowing back, investment money will go to the companies whose books look good, because investors want their money back quite quickly. So it will be the likes of ICM and whoever, and Mini Art, to name just two of the many Ukrainian companies who are working hard, who will benefit from it. It's the Ukrainian people that I think I worry about most. It's companies come, companies go, but it's the people of Ukraine, the everyday people, everyday employees who just want a job, who just want some money, just want to live and survive and be able to buy food and the essentials. That's why I think we should support Ukrainian producers. But that's enough for me, because it's verging on politics and I really don't want to get involved in that. Dora Wings, yeah. Dora Wings, I've been building. Should I give you a cheeky preview? I think if you've hung around for an hour and a half, you've deserved it. So, the Dora Wings Fairy FD2. What a lovely kit. If you are into 60s research aircraft, buy this kit. The fit is incredible. For 1/72nd, the fit of all of this is beautiful. It's making a lovely kit. I'll be decalling it up. I'll be finishing it tomorrow. I've painted all the undercart and all that, just in case of putting it all together. I'm hoping Thursday I'll be putting up a video about it. It's a gorgeous thing. you know, yeah, Andy. Yes, there are so many Russian people who hate this war as much as we do, and you know, what can we do? What can we do? Yeah, sometimes you just feel so helpless in all this, but it's the people behind it that I worry about. Okie dokies. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, da, 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 da. I think it. I can't remember. In the interview I did with Will and Elia for DBMK, he mentioned Armory. That's it. Armory used to have 7 people there, and 6 of them have all gone off to the military. So they're just one person running the Armory operation at the moment in Ukraine. That's happening a lot all over the place. It really is. Um, ba, 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 ba. Yeah, I mean, ICM's stuff does actually stand up on its own, whether or not they're coming from a country that's at war. You know, thinking of some sort of sympathy reason why I should buy their stuff, whatever. ICM kits are generally the more modern designs, more modern tooling is generally really actually very very good by itself. And that's what I love about them. That's what I love about them. George, you're back. Hey mate, glad you got back safely. Adam, are the Matchbox mystery boxes going to continue because the Hunter was a lovely kit? Adam, yes, the Hunter was a very, very, very lovely kit. And are the Matchbox mystery boxes going to continue? I have now shot the reveal of 4 of them. I'll be doing the 5th one tomorrow. The second one is actually going to come up tomorrow morning. So the second mystery box reveal is tomorrow, and I'll be building it very, very, very soon. I've done the reveals on the 3rd and 4th boxes, so I know what they are, and you don't. And I'll be shooting box number 5 probably tomorrow, day after tomorrow. So I'm going to get those done, and then I'll feed in the builds as quickly as I can make them. Because I really, really, really want to build some of these. Number 2 I want to build. Number 3 I actually haven't built. Actually, number 2 and number 3 and number 4 I haven't built for a very, very, very long time. So I'm really looking forward to building them. That's the wonderful thing about the Max Box Challenge, is I'm actually really looking forward to building it. Actually, also Nick's mystery boxes. He sends me stuff that I really want to build. There's an event next month, the 48 in 48 group build run by Model Officers Mess. Check them out on Facebook. It's it was like build a 1/48 scale kit in 48 hours, and we all like join up online and da 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 da. I'm building the Lippish P13A that Nick sent in the mystery box set. I think it's mystery box number 2 from the series I did recently. I'm building that. It's 1/48 scale kit. I'm pretty sure I can make that within 48 hours. That's exciting. So there's a lot of this coming. There's actually an awful lot of stuff on its way that I've been building and working on in the background and not talking about. So there's a lot of stuff on its way soon, and I've got a lot of stuff to do inbox reviews for. So that's pretty cool. Ian Dowdle, I'm really glad to that you can join in, mate. Thank you very much. I enjoy it. I hope other people do. That's really cool. I just need to check that up there. What is? Would like to see the 1/72 scale kits of the Handley Page Hastings, Short Belfast, and Blackburn Beverley. Well, they would be big old kits, Darren. Properly big old kits. I'd love to see them. Belfast in particular, Shorts Belfast. I just love the design of it. There's something a bit sort of Handy Page Victory about it, a bit like Handy Page Victor, the sort of sweeps and stuff, beautiful things. Yeah, I'd love to see them. I'd love to build them as well. Gary T, I've only built Airfix and Tamiya kits. What company do you think I should try next? Gary, what I think you should do is look for the subject more than necessarily the manufacturer. There's an awful lot out there, awful lot out there, but check out the things that make you think, oh, I actually quite fancy building that, without worrying about who the manufacturer is. I mean, Airfix are, generally speaking, in the last sort of 10-15 years of production, very reliable. Tamiya has a great reputation. What have I got up here? I've got loads of Revel kits, I've got loads of ICM kits, I've got loads and loads of Edward kits. I've got some AZs and stuff, KP, all sorts. There's just all sorts. For me, don't get too hung up on the manufacturer. Just build subjects that really grab your attention, no matter who actually makes it. Sometimes you'll come up against a kit you think, oh, that's the only one of those, and I'll make one of those, and you think that's not the greatest kit in the world. But you know what? You can tidy it up a bit, and you can make something that you're happy with. The KP Mars Messenger is an example. It's not the greatest kit in the world. There's a lot of things they could do with the design to make it easier to make. The result is actually pretty nice, but with just a little bit of care and love, it actually sits on my shelf there and downstairs in my living room, and I'm happy for it to be there because it's quite a cute little thing and an interesting little kit. It's not there because it's a KP kit, it's there because it's a Mars Messenger, and I happen to like the Mars Messenger. So maybe just check out what subjects you think you're interested in and see who makes them, and then just go for it. I mean, the more modern the moulding, generally speaking, the easier it will be to make a kit that you're happier with. But, you know, sometimes older kits are more fun to build. You know, because that's the only thing you can get of a particular subject. So I wouldn't worry about the manufacturer. Don't get hung up on manufacturers. Just get what you think you'd like to build and build it. And have fun building it. That's the key thing. Have fun building it. Be happy with the result. That's it. That's what this whole hobby should be about. It's a hobby. It's a hobby. Sometimes I have to remind myself of this sometimes as well. It's a hobby. Have fun. That's the one important thing. Have fun. Let your brain float on other problems and let them slip away for the time you're having fun building your kit, no matter what it is and no matter what the result. Just have fun and be pleased with what you build. That's all we need to do. Reaper 55, looking forward to the ICM Mobile Chapel. Yes, that's on its way, I think, soon. That'd be pretty cool. SMS paint, John, I've never tried it myself. Sorry to hear it's a pain to clear out. Russell, 1/72nd scale kit of the B1. Yeah, that would be interesting. That's fairly large, I would say. Sorry, it's been a lot while I've been chatting, so a lot of things have happened. Ryan, will I be building that DOX? Yes, I will when I can get round to it. But I will. Everything that Nick sent me, I will be building. Absolutely. Andy, yeah, Mini Art do some really odd things. Yes, Soviet villagers or crates with vegetables. They do some properly odd diorama things. Musician refugees was one of my favourites. Absolutely bonkers. Yeah, there we go. And cheese wheels. They have a cheese seller's van and they have cheese wheels together, and I think cheese stall as well. The V1, Leslie, yeah, that shouldn't be much of an issue. Adam, thank you so much for joining in. Great to see you. Have a good evening. Did Airfix have a 1/72nd scale Belfast in the range? It may well have done. I don't know. I actually don't know whether it's 1/72nd or what. I actually do not know. I wish they did. I wish I could get hold of one. Right, am I building the Nat? I've built the 1/72nd scale Nat. I will maybe look at 1/48 at some point because I like the Nat. Very pretty little aeroplane. I have built the 1/72nd scale one already though. It's Christmas of last year maybe because it was one of the little things I did, or just after Christmas, about January of last year I think from memory. Have Airfix reboxed some of their 1/76th kits and just printed 1/72nd? Do you know what? They may well have done. Actually, they may well have done. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if they had, to be perfectly honest. I'd have to check it out on scale, mates. Not special hobby Harrier. No, I haven't got a special. I've got the. Excuse me. I did the Hobby 2000 one, which was the Hasegawa. Well, that was lovely. Yes, new F. Just finished my. Oh, someone's just finished. Of 1/48 BF19 from ICM. Had fun. Instructions had to be enlarged to A4. Nigel, I have to say I didn't enjoy building the ICM BF19 for many reasons, and there's all sorts of fit things, and the way you build the engine and put the fairings around it and all that. And eventually I thought, if you're not going to open up the engine, chuck the engine out and just build the fairings and chuck the prop on the front, because life's too short. I spoke to ICM and said, I loved, it was when I did the Mistel, I loved the Junkers 88, not a big fan of the 109. Their response was, ICM kits are not made for beginners. So it's a little bit of a sort of, well, you're supposed to be a professional, get on with it. Not my favourite kit in the world, I have to say. Much as I like ICM generally, the BF109 is not my favourite. It's from a tooling from a bit long ago, and it's not great. I have to say, it's not great. Short spell for yeah. Oh, I was comment. Ryan Scale Model World. I'd like to buy an ICM kit. How do you buy them? You talk to your local model shop if you have one, or if you don't, you go online and buy them from any of the large retailers. Jadlam have them, Hannants have them, Model Works will definitely have them, I should say, in New Haven. They do mail order. Lots of places will have them if you ask, or if not, you can buy them online in many stores in the UK or worldwide. They've got worldwide distribution now. You can probably even buy them direct from them in Ukraine. It'll take a little bit of time to get here, like 10 days to get here, but you can probably buy them. But certainly you can buy them from lots and lots and lots of resellers in the UK. Really easy to find. Simon John, apparently Matchbox kits are fun to build. Ha ha ha. Simon, by the way, is the guy who is sending me the Matchbox challenge kits. And yes, they are. Do you know what? They are fun to build. I'll tell you why. Because they take me back to my youth. In days when I wasn't obsessed about panel lines, I wasn't obsessed about all the stuff I do now. They were lovely kits. They went together well, and a bit of paint, they look great. Remember that Hunter? Yeah, the panel lines are chunky, but you know what? The fit was really good. I didn't use much filler, very little filler on that kit, unlike a lot of other kits from that era I can talk about. And they came in funky 2 or 3 colours of plastic for fun. But do you know what? They look great. And they tackled some really difficult subjects sometimes, some really odd subjects. So Simon, you are an absolute gem for sending them to me, mate. As I say, I know what I've got up there that's out of camera that you can't see, everyone else, that I've got to build in future, and I'm so looking forward to it. They're going to be so much fun, really are. What else we got here? Ryan, yeah, do check out ICM kits. As I say, check them out. More recent ones are better than the older ones, so check them out on scalemates.com. If you're not sure, if you see something online you think, oh, I wonder when that was built, check it on Scalemates, see when the new tool was for it. Anything in the last 10 years or so is pucker, I've always found myself. Andy, you nearly bought the meat the other day. Oh, is that like the charcuterie thing with like the hanging hams and stuff? They're just bonkers. Those guys are absolutely bonkers. But you know, if you're doing a lot of diorama stuff, they're actually really useful. Really useful. Simon, oh sorry, Andy. I do like little matchbox tanks and little dioramas. Yeah, but you know what? They were good like that. You know, it's put something in context, which is always good. Always good. Simon, I've built the Matchbox HS-125, the Lightning, and the Starfighters kit, and I've enjoyed every build. That's exactly right, Simon. You enjoy them. They are enjoyable kits to make. As I say, not the most accurate in terms of panel lines. They can be chunky. You know, it's like the 70s technology. But they actually fit really well, generally speaking. Nigel Loft, Model Works in New Haven, best place for model kits. Absolutely, they do have some. I love those guys. They're really, really good people. You know, I spent a few very happy hours down there myself. In fact, I will go down there again very soon. They know what they're talking about. It's like you need to find whatever you can to get as close as you can to a proper old school model shop, where people who know what they're talking about are there and can help you out. Now, you know, obviously a lot of people say, oh yeah, there's a load of things like Hannant's. Hannant's in Colindale, the one next to the RF Museum. If you drop in there, it's a proper shop. They know what they're talking about. They're really helpful. And you can just buy stuff from them. So they've got like this massive distribution arm based on lower stuff. But they've even got their own like proper model shop as well, staffed by people who know models. And that's what Model Works is about. There's some really lovely stuff in there. Andy, I avoid looking at the builds in Model Works as they made me feel inadequate. Yeah, I know what you feel. There was a Heinkel 111Z, you know, the Zwilich, the 12 twin fuselage 148th ICM kit, and the guy had done it had one fuselage was normal, the other fuselage was like a cutaway. Oh my goodness, it's such a good kit. It turns out to be the son of the bloke who owns Model Works, the son of him. What a model maker he must be. Absolutely amazing. Emma, I built loads of kits from the 60s from Airfix and they went together well without filler. Maybe the one was doing. Maybe there were, or I don't know, maybe we just didn't do. I'll tell you what, I'll show you. I was looking at the Airfix Rotodyne earlier. I thought I'd get these bits out, start cleaning them up a bit, see how, because I've been hearing, oh, the fit's awful, the fit's awful. The fit is absolutely spot on. This is a 1959 mould, and yeah, it's ridged slightly because that's the way things were in those days, and I'm going to have to sand that down, and I don't know how I'm going to recreate these rivets. That's a me problem, but the actual fit is absolutely fine. There's not a problem with it. So yeah, you're right. A lot of these kits didn't have fit problems. Maybe we were just, I don't know, the way we approach things was different back in the day. I don't know. Anyway, hey look, there's my Tornado with swing wings. Woohoo! And the roller-ons at the back sorted out. Ryan, you're currently making a 148 Spitfire Airfix. I don't know which mark it is you're making, but if it's one of the more recent ones, absolutely lovely. I mean, really, really nice kits. Really good. Jaws, Revel did a 1/72 B1 Lancer, used to have it. Airfix used to, and I've seen the tool for it in Margate, but I'm not entirely sure whether it's whether the tool's complete and whether it's good enough for them to make anything from. But I have seen the tooling in their tooling store. It was, I'm not saying anything about this, but it was next to their Rotodyne and their SRN4 tooling. Now the Rotodyne was seen back. Wouldn't it be great if they could get that SRN4 back as well? I keep saying to Dale, just like I did with the Rotodyne, he denies it. I said to him, Dale, you make that Rotodyne Vintage Classic, you'll sell out, mate. Don't you worry. And yeah, whatever, Gary. And now it's available. I said the same about the SRN4. I know a lot of you would build the SRN4 if it were appeared again. Who knows? On Matchbox, thick canopies are usually clear, but honestly, how much can be seen? Well, not very much, actually, Bob. Yeah, they are pretty thick canopies. That was the way they did things in those days. There's not a lot of detail you can see through it, but whatever. Sprues and Glues, Wirral Model Shop for the win. Excellent. My dear wife is actually from the Wirral, so all power to you up there. Excellent. Glad to see there's a good model shop up there. Andy, does anyone make cutaway kits? I used to like them as well. Always had like a red edge to where the stuff was cut away. Always thought that would be an interesting thing to do. Maybe with something like the Shackleton AEW, that everything's hidden away. You'd spend ages putting together and you can't see anything. Maybe that would be an interesting thing to do, a little Dremel job on it and then just paint it red at the edge and see how, maybe I could do that. Yeah, to be fair, the vast majority of specialist mod shops do try their best to be helpful, because they understand that supporting people into the hobby and getting them enthusiastic and getting them enjoying the hobby is the way that their business continues, because they'll come back. That's exactly what proper model shops are about. They help you out, knowing that that's an investment to them. That's a time and expertise investment into your enjoyment of making a kit, because then you think, actually, I did enjoy that. I'm ready for something bigger. I'll go back to that shop because they sorted me out first time around and they were really good and they were honest. Didn't sell me everything under the sun. They just said, no, this is what you need. Maybe this and this will help you. Out you go. You come back. That's brilliant. How can I get better? How can I build something bigger, more exciting, more fun? And you get that dialogue going, and that is what model shops are all about. And they support you so much. These people genuinely want to see you having fun, because they know that if you're having fun, you're going to go back to them. And it works with online stores like James Skiffins at Spruebox. You know, he's very keen that if you want to, you just get in touch with him and he'll engage with you, help you, talk to you about what you want out of the modelling process, and then come to a solution that works for you. It's all about building the hobby and building fun, because the more fun we have, the more time we go back to the people who make it. It makes absolute sense. Absolute sense. The 1/32 scale Spitfire from Airfix with a motor in it. I think that was the 1/24th, Andy, wasn't it? Was it the old 1/24th Spitfire had a motor in the front end? Yeah. My Grand Chainsmoke Players number 10 to collect. Yeah. It's like that scene in Blackadder with Baldrax and Captain Flashheart in the last series. My mother almost smoked herself to death so I could get the book to put your cigarette cards in. Is the SRN4 the large hovercraft I'm thinking of? Yes, it is the very large hovercraft that used to ply the channel route with cars on board and everything else like that. I'd love, yes, it would look awesome in a commando scheme with maybe some 20mm cannon or 40mm, you know, just some defensive cannon, and maybe, yeah, absolutely, it would do. I said, yeah, someone on Instagram did a cutaway AEW shackles and complete with scratch built spars. Do you know, some of these people who do scratch built stuff, it's just awesome. I mean, scary awesome. I've seen some absolutely stunning things with that. It's a little bit beyond me, I must be honest. Gary said, yeah, there's not a shop in my town now, so you have to use Amazon. Yeah, Amazon's okay, but do look around for other. There's loads of other online companies. Um, do a Google search for what you want as well, and you'll find loads of companies. Yeah, E-models, as I say, Hannon's, Jadlam. They'll all offer you, a bit of discount on the recommended price, and maybe free shipping if it's a big enough thing, and all these different things. There's plenty of stores out there if you can't get to a proper shop. So a lot of proper shops like Model Works also have mail order. So do check them out. There's loads and loads and loads of them. Do you think Airfix will do a 1/24th Hurricane? If you mean a completely new tooling 1/24th Hurricane, I don't really think why it shouldn't. It meets a lot of the criteria for Airfix. So it's a British aircraft. Not many people make it in 1/24th. They used to make it 1/24th. There's variants, there's plenty of variants to do. There's famous aircraft to do. I don't see why not. They may well do. And who knows? The development cycle seems to be about 3 years, 3 to 4 years between major 1/24th scale releases. So I guess a year after next, at the latest, we'll be seeing something brand new from them. With rivets, Tamiya has this rolling tool that etches them back in. Yes, they do indeed, sprues and glues. The problem is with the Rotodyne is the rivets are raised, not sunken. So I probably would be looking. There's someone who makes strips of raised rivets as a decal. Well, they've got people who do instrument panels and stuff like that. They do rivet sets. Maybe I need to catch on to one of those. Across the channels that keep prone to 6 SRN 4. Yeah, I've been on one. It was a bit bumpy, but my god, it was fun. Absolute fun. Love it. Absolutely love it. We go to Albania every year, as you may remember, on holiday. We used to go to a place called Saranda in the south of Albania. And the way you get is to fly to Corfu and get a ferry, and there was a regular ferry boat that took an hour. But then you have this sort of fleet of, I don't know when they were built. I'm guessing around 2000. These old school, like Soviet hydrofoils. They hadn't been on a hydrofoil forever. And they have hydrofoils and these massive diesel engines on them, and they get this enormous rumbling noise when they set off. And you see this thing sort of pottering along, and then sort of getting faster and faster on the water, and it just lifts up out of the water onto the hydrofoils, and it goes tearing across twice as fast as the ferry. We went on it one time. Absolutely brilliant. Loved it. And the hovercraft was a similar experience. It was like so much noise, but it just was amazing that we were on the land and then we were on the sea and tanking along. Absolutely loved it. Ian, you'd like to see a 1/24th Hawker Hunter from Airfix? Well, yeah, I guess we all would really. It's the most beautiful jet fighter ever designed, in my humble opinion, by a long way. Bugle 75. Sorry you can't stay, mate. But hey, it's 10 o'clock, so that's fine. Rob, thanks so much for joining in. Really, really, really good to see you, mate. Robert Harris got the 124th Mozzie in your stash. Oh my goodness. Andy, never going on the hydrofoil from Folkestone to yeah, that was that a sea cat or something like that it was called? I can't remember. But yeah, hydrofoils, just bonkers. I just remember them from like things you used to see at school, this sort of Soviet stuff you used to see at school with like these hydrofoils going along the Moskva outside the Kremlin and all that. I thought, wow, what a great way to travel. And I've got this fleet of them between Greece and Albania. Absolutely amazing. Um, yeah, we would all like the Mozzie, mate. Michael Keach, help me to an emotionally draining day. I hope everything's okay, Michael, with you, my friend. Stay safe and stay happy, and yeah, hope you're okay. It worries me when I see it emotionally draining. That worries me, but I hope you're alright, mate. Do keep coming back. Yeah. So that's it. I think I've actually managed to kind of build a tornado. I haven't put the lid on it. I'll do the rest of it next time. Do a little bit of filling on some of these joints here. Put the rest of the entry boxes and all that and stuff and paint it up. But that is for next month's 3rd Tuesday. So do keep coming back for the channel. Tomorrow, as I've mentioned it, is the reveal of mystery box, sorry, the Matchbox Challenge Kit number 2. Thursday hopefully will be the Dora Wings FD2 if I get that finished, and then there's going to be plenty more. Do keep coming back, do subscribe, do hit the bell button, and then you'll know everything I produce. And of course I'll see you for Monday Matters. Andy, have I built my Aerosan yet? To my eternal shame, no, I haven't. That is next on the list to build because I'm a little bit behind with things. Thank you all so very, very, very much for joining me. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful rest of the week. And I will see you again very, very soon. Take very good care and thanks for watching. Goodbye.